question I want to ask is, what made you want to start a business? Especially with the fact that you're still in university and you're still studying full time. What made you want to do this?
I feel like my intention at the start of starting a business 3 or 4 years ago, it's just changed over time and it changes yearly. When I first started, I honestly wanted to start a business because I wanted to be flexible with my timetable, and because I was starting uni at the same time, I wanted to be more flexible. And I was honestly just tired as working as a cashier. I had been working for our family restaurant for a while, and also after that, when I finished high school, I kept working at restaurants and fast food, and I wanted something new, I wanted something different. So I picked up a hobby, and from there it just became a business. So I don't think I really planned or wanted to do a business, it just became one. Yeah.
And then how did you end up working in Paran? Oh, well, you know what, let's take one step back. How did you end up getting into lashes?
I started getting into lashes because when we went to Indo on one of our family trips, I did lashes for the first time with our family friend Margaret, and I fell in love with lashes. Like the second I got them done, I just felt so good and confident about myself. And you know, like I went to a strict high school, so I wasn't allowed to keep getting it done, but straight out of high school I was like, oh my god, yay, I can finally get lashes done, get my nails done all the time. And when I went to see one of my lovely friends, Jean, I went to see her home salon because I just found her on Instagram, and I fell in love with her work, and I wanted to learn and do exactly what she was doing, and she became my inspiration, and then that's how it started from there.
And then what I noticed is, or maybe just because you started it, but I feel like lashes has become a really popular trend. I don't. Is that true, or has it always been popular?
No, I definitely think so. I think in the last...
It's really picked up, right?
Yeah, in the last 2 years,
Yeah.
everyone gets lashes.
And
yeah.
can you explain why that's the case? Because, I mean, they're not cheap either. Like, people can pay up to hundreds just to get it done, and it'll only last them, like, you know, maybe a month or two. Why are women paying so much to get their lashes done?
Well, it's different reason for everybody, but I think the main reason is just it makes you feel good. And, you know, people are always really busy, people busy with work, and, you know, self-care and, you know, doing your makeup in the morning has always been part of everyone's kind of routine in the morning, and everyone's always looking for something that's more convenient, more time-saving. So lashes has become that. It's so easy. Well, you get your lashes done every couple of weeks, and it's one less thing to think about in the morning, and it gets you going, makes you feel good the second you wake up. Yeah, so that's why it's become so popular.
Okay. And then do you think that your university education has helped you? Because I know that before you took over at Your Lash, you were doing it at home, right? So I'm sure that taught you a lot about how to deal with customers, how to, you know, be even better at your craft itself. In terms of the university aspect, what did you study?
I did arts in my first year, so I was just having a bit of fun. I was learning some languages. Didn't really know what I wanted to do at that point. And then I transferred, and I'm studying business management.
Yeah, and how's that really synced into your business?
To be honest, I feel like university, it has taught me a lot. Probably not so much the content and the theory that I'm learning at uni, but the habits I've built, and just knowing, like having deadlines for things, and knowing that I need to keep organized and keeping a calendar. That's what uni has taught me the most. But in terms of the actual theory and things I've learned in class, I actually find that it's more so my electives that have taught me more, or have helped me more with my actual business than like the actual core subjects that I'm doing in uni, to be honest with you. Like for example, when I did my elective, I had an elective at Monash called entrepreneurship, and like a lot of my assignments involved, you know, like making a LinkedIn page, like, you know, applying for a job, learning how to write a cover.
They taught you how to make a LinkedIn page?
Yeah, it was like one of our assignments, and on a LinkedIn page, cover letter, resume. And then another really good one was we had this group assignment. I remember we were put in groups, and we had to pretty much think of a business, think of a product that we could pitch to the university lecturers and that. And we were taught how to make a business plan, And so that itself, like doing that, it helped me in real life, because when I was purchasing About Your Lash, I had to make my own business plan for my own business, so that really helped. Yeah. But yeah.
That's good. I mean, at least you can say that, because I felt like uni was a bit of a waste for me. Just because, I don't know, I just wasn't a good student. And then sometimes it just makes me think like why people spend so much money on university. And then there was, and I saw the subject of entrepreneurship, but I didn't do it because I felt like they're teaching you something that you can only learn by actually doing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like studying entrepreneurship or studying business is almost like me reading a 1,000-page textbook on how to do a push-up.
Yeah.
You know, like you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can read, you know, this is how you do a push-up, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
But you'll never know how to do a push-up unless you actually do
Until
it.
you try. Yeah.
Which is what I always thought was a bit weird. And then you look at international students, they're paying what, 25 grand a year? No, sorry, not a year, a semester to learn that.
Well, like $10,000 a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And I definitely feel like I learned, the chunk of what I learned is mostly from just being on the job.
Yeah. Not
so much from uni. But being a uni student, I feel like does teach you good habits.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think it's good in terms of learning punctuality, because you actually, it's not like high school. You don't have someone who's going to push you to come to class, come on time, do your homework. So it does teach you to be punctual, because in the real world, that's pretty much what you have to do. And then what about starting a business while also at the same time still being a student? Was that challenging for you? Or do you ever feel like, I got a better question. Do you ever feel like you could have been more successful in your business had you waited until you graduated so you could fully focus on it?
Oh, that's kind of a hard question, because
you never know, right?
I just don't know. But then at the same time, I knew for a fact that if the opportunity presents itself and I don't take it because, I can probably do better once I finish uni, it's just that opportunity might never come again.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's true.
As much as I wish I had finished uni first, because it has caused me a lot of stress working and doing uni, it's challenging, but I don't know how it would be otherwise. And if I waited till uni to end to start my own business, maybe it would be even more challenging later. So
and uni's done now, right?
I've got 2 units left. I feel like it's never ending, but yeah, I've got 2 units left and then I'm finally done. But I'm on holidays now, so now I can kind of feel a bit more relieved now.
Yeah. Okay. And then how's mum and dad been? How have the parents been in terms of supporting your venture? Were they like, Natasha, don't do it, it's the wrong time, you're too young? Were they like, it's not a good business idea, it's not a good business plan? What's that like?
Well, I mean, mum and dad's opinion and advice, is always really important to me. And obviously they're the first people I went to ask if it was a good idea. And, I've gotten mixed opinions and messages from mum and dad. Like, when I first told them about it, they were like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And then when, it started to get real and, we were sitting down more with the agents and mum was like, oh crap, are you sure you want to do this? I actually don't want to finish uni. So she's a mix of...
Mum and they're very bipolar.
Yeah. So, but I think now that, it's all settled and I'm already working, I would like to think that they're really proud. But yeah, they've been really supportive and really helpful with me. And even when times are tough now, I used to always think mum and dad will always disagree with whatever I say. If I say A, they say B just for the sake of doing it. But I realize now, now that I'm in a business, I value their advice and input and experience so much that I think of them differently now, for sure.
Differently? How so, though?
I don't know. I feel like now that I have a business and they're listening to me a lot more and they're listening to my stories, they speak to me they don't treat me so much like a baby anymore.
Yeah. And then another thing is, when I started business, and I'm sure you will eventually feel it if you're not already, that you start to respect successful business owners, even including mum and dad, because you realize how hard it is to actually make a business successful. Once you run your own, that's when you realize, I don't give successful business owners enough credit.
Yeah.
Because people always look at business owners and you don't have to say anything. You just, and Takumi, I know you feel this as well. Like, people, you just say, hey, I'm a business owner. The first thing people will say is, oh, congratulations, well done. It's like, yeah, look, I haven't even told you. My business is making a loss.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying myself for the last, 2 years. And you're saying congrats to me. People assume that you're already successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
they go, oh, he must be rich. He makes more money than me. All because he said, I own a business. Which is not true.
Yeah.
Which is not true. Because a lot of business owners, they suffer, they bleed.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are successful, instead of being jealous, you start to go, damn, like they actually did it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very humbling experience, and it's a motivating one as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I can really relate to that because I feel like in the last month, especially those first 2 weeks, like as happy as I was and as, I was so grateful and so excited, and I still am, my stress levels were at all-time high. So I would get the same thing from everyone saying, oh my God, congrats, like you must be so happy. And like, oh yeah, I am, but I'm also, oh my gosh, I'm really tired, I'm really exhausted. But yeah, and I definitely do I understand mum and dad a lot more now because like, as a kid I used to always think like, oh my God, they're always in a bad mood. They're so stressed, but now like, I think about them and I think about like, wow, like they were amazing for what they did, being able to manage so many employees and just, having such an impact and responsibility that they had. It's crazy.
Yep. If you weren't doing lashes, or if this opportunity never came to you, when you graduated from university, what do you think you would be doing instead?
If I never did lashes at all?
Yeah, because I heard that you wanted to do accounting, or you want to be an accountant.
To be honest, after high school, that idea of being an accountant was because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I was good at accounting and I was good at business management in high school. So I honestly pictured myself having an office job, being an accountant, I don't know, being a hotel manager or something. I mean, I guess that's probably what I would be doing. But I know now, like, I think if I did do that, I wouldn't be as fulfilled or as happy as I am now doing what I love. Because I got to put my hobby and what I'm passionate about together with my work. So in a lot of ways, my work doesn't feel like work.
Well, do you think one day you'll ever hate it? Right?
I hope not.
Because if you take your passion and you turn it into a business, you might eventually dislike it. You know what I mean? Like videographers, I'm going to do a videography business because I love it. It's my passion.
Yeah.
But once they struggle, they can't find business, customers don't like their product, they end up disliking it. They dislike the hobby itself. Do you think that'll ever happen? And if it does, how do you mitigate away from those type of feelings?
I don't think so. I don't think I would ever like hate lashing, like hate the art of it or hate beauty, because it's so me, it's so ingrained in me. But I would understand like maybe getting tired of the business side of things and getting tired of being a business. Not so much the actual activity itself though. I will always be passionate about beauty. And more than just beauty, I think, because a big part of this beauty business is talking to people, and I love talking to people. So I don't think that would ever change. There's nothing that could happen that would, take away from that.
That's good. That's good. That's why I think when you run a business, I think your love and passion for what you do is always important, because if that's gone, then it just becomes another job and you might as well just work for someone else, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Or it might just ends up becoming, I'm just doing this for the money, which is one of the worst things that you could possibly do, right? And then what are your long-term business plans?
I think for the next 5-10 years, maybe 5 years, I would love to just grow this business more. I want to be in the business. I'm prepared to be in the business every day. Long term, I would love to hold the business as a whole for, I want to say, 15 years. And to be honest with you, I want to retire at 35. Like, that's my dream.
That's very young to retire.
Very young. That's my dream goal, though. May or may not happen. I hope it does. But I want to grow this business. I want to grow it, and eventually I want to stop. I want to lessen the workload that I'm physically doing the lashes, because even being in the business for a month so far, and I'm, being in that room and I'm doing my work, I find that, oh, like, you know, I want to be out there. I want to be out in the front desk saying hi to everyone. Like, I'm already kind of feeling a bit sad sometimes when I miss a nail client that one of the girls has and I didn't get to meet them, and then I come out and I hear about, oh, like, this person was so cool. I'm like, damn it, I wish I met them. So I want to definitely be more outside. And another dream I have is I really want to start training. Really love to have a training academy, because that's another passion of mine, showing people the art of lashes, teaching about them, like how cool it is, like how intricate it is, and yeah, that's yeah.
And you know, well, I was gonna say not just your business, but all business, there's risks. There might be times where you don't make money, or there might be times where it doesn't work out. You know, 10 years from now, or even 5 years from now, 3 years from now, your business might fail.
Yeah,
it's scary, right? And you invest all your time and effort into it, and when you got that type of fear in your mind, which cripples a lot of people from even wanting to try start their business, how do you build the faith or the courage or trusting yourself enough to do it?
Well, I just think, I mean, as simple as it sounds, you just have to not, you have to believe in yourself. Like, you can't, if you keep letting your fear, you know, overcome what you're passionate about or what you're excited about, then in anything, not even just starting a business, but you'll be scared to do anything in life. You'll be scared to get up in the morning, or even go to a job, or get a new job, or do anything new. So I think just believing in yourself, having dreams, and not thinking that your dreams, like, no, it's more just not think that your dreams are too ridiculous. Like, you know, like people always say like, oh, I have a dream of doing this and I have a dream of doing that, but it's never going to happen. And people that say that, because they're already putting themselves in the spot where they're like, it's never going to happen, so it's never going to happen. You can really, you have to almost say it's going to happen so that you believe in it and it happens, and not let the fear overcome your dreams.
Yeah, that's 100% true. That's 100% true, because I think it comes down to opportunity cost. You know, people don't want to start business because they go, oh, I work this job that I don't really like, but it pays me well. You know, my wife enjoys the money, my kids enjoy the money, and we live an okay lifestyle, but I don't enjoy it. And then when you think about it, doing that is more riskier than actually facing your fears, because if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you'll never know what you're actually capable of. You know, imagine if Elon Musk was like, I'm too scared to do what I do, right? And then imagine, and he just became a farmer, or he just became a worker, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Like, sometimes I think about, like, way back when I was wanting to do my first eyelash course, my biggest fear at the time was, oh my God, I'm only working one shift a week where I'm getting paid $17 an hour, and I'm working 3 hours every week, and then just uni. How am I going to pay off this? I think it was like $1,000 course at first, the first one I ever did. That was my biggest fear. But if I had feared of never being able to pay that off, then things wouldn't have gone better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when you start a business, you need to have some type of capital, no matter how big or small it is. And people go, if I invest this much and I lose it, you know, and then maybe it's not worth doing. That's how you know, like, you probably, if that's how you think, you're probably not ready to own a business, because you have to be willing to lose, you know what you're risking.
And those same people that do that are the same people that, like, for example, even with like crypto, it's like when the price goes higher, everyone's like, oh crap, I should have invested. Or like when it was this and what was that. But then when the price is actually there, they're like, oh, I might lose this money. And then they regret it later.
Well, there's a lot of people who finish university and go, I don't know what my passion is yet. I don't know what I should find, and I don't know what to do next, right? And they feel hopeless. I think you're an example of someone who found something that you wanted, believed in it so much that you wanted to pursue it, even while you were in uni. You didn't wait. You struck straight away when you saw the opportunity, right? How do you do that? To all the people right now who are not sure what they want to do, all the people who have so much fear about, I don't think I can do this, you know, I'm like, I just graduated, I'm not good enough, I'm not good looking enough, it's true, I'm not good looking enough, I don't speak well enough, I don't have a lot of friends, I'm not really good at talking to people, I'm not good at anything. How do you push them to actually, find their purpose?
I would say for them to just say yes to every opportunity that comes, even if you don't know you're going to enjoy it. I remember back to when, so how I even got a job about Your Lash was I got a DM from Nadia, the previous owner. I got a DM and she said, look, I found your Instagram page. Looks really cool. Do you want to work with me? And, you know, I had all these worries. I'm like, oh, I've never worked in a salon before. Like, you know, do I really want to work for someone else? I'm quite comfortable with what I was doing at the time. But I said yes because I was like, why not? Like, what do you have to lose by saying yes? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I would just say yes to every opportunity that comes, even if it's like, even if you don't even know exactly what it entails or know if you enjoy it. Because people get so worked up about like, oh, like, I don't want to do something that I don't know that I'm 100% sure about. Just do it. And then if you hate it later, then quit it. And then say yes to the next thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. My advice to a lot of people who come to me and say, oh, Jules, you know, like, but right? My answer is literally don't think and just do it. Because the people who think are the ones who like usually don't end up doing it, right? And I'm not saying that's always the case. I mean, it's important to think, but at the same time, you have to execute.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important
and the thing is, by the time you're done thinking, and then you're like, oh yeah, the bus is already gone. Like the opportunity is already passed. Imagine if I had just sat there and waited and twiddled my thumbs too long, the opportunity would have gone to someone else.
Yeah, like when I started James and Brothers, it was a lot of embarrassing things I wish I could have done differently, things I regret, right? Things that just like could have been better.
Yeah.
Right. But when you look at it, it's like, at least I'm proud of myself that I at least did it. Because if I kept thinking, how do I make it really good, and then I'll do it, I never would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your advice just for like, say a young person who's watching this who really wants the motivation to start their business? What's your tip?
It's a lot of tips. I think the main one was what I said before. Just say yes to every opportunity that is given to you, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do yet.
Yeah.
Say yes. Be patient and work hard, even if it means work for someone. Because even if you're a boss, or even if you've been, you know, your own boss for so long, you can never stop learning. And that's definitely true with the lash industry. I know that for sure. It's never too late to learn something new, improve. Like, no one's ever perfect. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you want to say on the podcast before we finish it off, or no?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered mostly everything. Is there anything else you want to ask?
No, I think so far so good. But you know what? Maybe let me ask one more thing. Why do you want to retire at 35? It's because it's still young.
Why do I want to retire?
And what does retirement mean? Because I'm pretty sure you're not just going to retire at 35 and then do nothing for the rest of your life. That's
what I mean by retire at 35 is I don't want to have to wake up at a specific time because I have somewhere like to be. Like, I don't want to have a 9-to-5 job. Like, now I love what I do, so I do it. Like, I'll get up at 7 a.m. I'll get home at 10 p.m. and I love it. But by 35, I have dreams of, I want to be able to travel the world. I don't want to have, you know, too many worries. I want to have a family. And one thing I regret most is that, you know, when we were growing up, mum and dad were still working like their asses off. And as kids, like, there were a lot of things that mum and dad missed out on. And now that we are so busy and we're older, mum and dad are free, but we're not. But just imagine if mum and dad retired 20 years ago, they could have been with us from the very beginning.
I didn't feel like that. I felt like mum and dad.
That's because you're the second one. That's because you're the second kid, you know?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think you have to rephrase it. I don't think it's necessarily retirement at 35. I think what you should aim for is financial freedom at 35, because that answers everything that you want.
Yeah.
And the thing about retirement is, retirement for me is like that's when you're ready to be brain dead and switch off your thing, which I don't think is good. I think, and especially for you, I just don't imagine that. I think as long as you have a purpose, you can't retire. You just have to keep going. It's just that whatever you end up doing after 35 is not about money anymore.
Yeah.
I think, but you can call it retirement, whatever you want, like whatever, you know.
I think you phrase it well.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So thanks again, Saf, for coming here. Really appreciate it. I think mum and dad's gonna love this podcast because they kept asking me to do this, and I hope that
we've asked them for 2 years.
And a lot of people have been asking me how does your sister at her age, you know, run a retail shop in South Yarra, you know, at her age, and I just thought, well, you know, watch the podcast if you want to know, because if you can do it, anyone can do it. You know, heaps of girls, guys who are older than you are so scared of, you know, stepping out, committing, you know, taking loans, doing working with customers, buying a business from someone.
Yeah.
It's scary stuff.
That's true. And
Yeah.
what you just said, like things like that, you don't learn in uni. Like you don't learn. I learned a lot of that from mum and dad.
That's true.
But even that, they didn't want to hold my hand throughout the whole thing. They gave me the contacts I needed, and then I had to go about it myself, and I just had to figure it out. And you don't have to know everything to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, thanks again.
No worries.
Enjoy, guys.
See ya.